Right behind me, you're looking at the most controversial construction project in Prague today. They're tearing up Wenceslas Square, again, to bring back something that disappeared 45 years ago, trams. And the last tram rolled out through here on December 13th, 1980. And now, after nearly half a century, they're coming back. And today, I'm going to tell you why trams left, why that turned out to be a massive mistake, and how their return is going to change public transportation and property values in the city center of Prague. If you live in Vinohrady, work in the city center, or you're thinking about buying property anywhere here, this matters. So let's go. So first, a bit of history. Because trams on Wenceslas Square are new. They've been here before for nearly a century. The first tram arrived on May the 20th, 1884. Back then, it was a horse-drawn tram, konika. It connected Můstek at the bottom of the square with the area near the National Museum at the top. In 1900, the tram line was electrified and suddenly Prague had modern electric trams running right through the heart of the city. Then in 1927, the city did a major reconstruction. The tram tracks were moved to a raised platform in the middle of the square. The tracks ran on either side of the statue of the Saint Wenceslas, right where I'm standing. For decades, this was the main hub of Prague's entire tram network. If you wanted to get anywhere in the city by tram, chances are you passed through Wenceslas Square. But then came the 1970s. Prague was building its first Metro Line A, and it ran directly under the Wenceslas Square. Stations opened at the Můstek and a museum in 1978. City planners looked at the shiny new metro and they were like, this is the future, why do we need trams anymore? Or cars are the future? Well, in 1980s they made the call. On December 13th, the last tram ran through the Wenceslas Square. The tracks were ripped off 2 years later and replaced with a park. And almost immediately Prague realized, we made a mistake. Here's the thing, metro is fantastic for long distances. If you're going from Davidská to Háje, metro is unbeatable. But for short trips in the city center, it's terrible. Let's say you're here at Můstek and you need to go to museum. That's about 500 meters. On a tram, that would take you, let's say, 2 minutes. But with metro, well, you walk down to the station, you wait for a train, you go with the train for 1 minute, then you have to walk back up to the street level. Total time, well, that would be closer to 10 minutes. And that's if everything's running smoothly. When the trams disappeared from Wenceslas Square, all that traffic had to go somewhere, either pushed down or mostly into the circular road through Spálená, across Karlovo náměstí, Ječná, náměstí Míru. Suddenly Karlovo náměstí became the new tramway hub, and it was just not designed for this. One broken down tram on Ječná, well, that part of Prague stands because there is no way around it. If you lived in Vinohrady and worked near Wenceslas Square, your only option were metro or a long detour by tram. No direct connections. And that's been the case for 45 years. But luckily, we still know how to walk, right? So what's changing now? Prague is finally fixing the mistake. And the new tram line isn't just bringing back what was lost. It's designed for a future. The route will run about 550 meters. It starts at the intersection of Vinohradská and Škrétova Street, passes between the old and the new building of the National Museum, circles around the statue of Wenceslas Square, I guess not around like this, but on the side, and continues down to the middle of Wenceslas Square, where it connects with the existing lines right there at Jindřišská and Vodičkova. There will be 2 pairs of tram stops, one near the museum, called Museum, and the other one here at the square of Václavské náměstí. 3 tram lines are designed to use this route, line 6, 13 and 21. The city expects about 30,000 passengers per day to use this new connection. That's quite significant. Construction started in June 2024. The first tram is scheduled to roll through in the summer of 2027. That's next year. And for Vinohrady, this is massive because finally, after 47 years, there will be a direct tram connections between Vinohrady and the city center. No more taking metro down 3 levels just to go few stops or going through Karlovo náměstí. Just a straight shot from Vinohradská right down here to the heart of Prague. And the new design, tracks on the sides, not in the middle. Here is going to be the pedestrian zone going from the middle all the way up. If there are cars, they're supposed to be only on the sides with ideally no parking. Let's see if they will deliver, because we all know how difficult it is to find a parking here in the city center. But let's be honest, if there were no cars parked on a Wenceslas Square, it would look much better. There is supposed to be 68 new trees planted all the way here, and I'm really looking forward for this to happen. So what does it all mean if you live here? If you're thinking about buying a property in this area, first, connectivity. Vinohrady just became a lot more attractive. Not that they were not attractive already, but the tram direct connection to the city center means easier commutes, faster runs, less time underground. If you work near Wenceslas Square and you live in Vinohrady, your quality of life just improved. Second, property values. Areas with good public transportation, they always hold their value over time. Of course, we're not expecting that Vinohrady would be ever less desired, but it definitely doesn't hurt. Third, the noise. Well, people worry about what it means when the trams are starting to go right under their windows. But that's the thing, this is 2026 and the technologies are much better. This is not the Soviet era T3 style, which is a model of the tram, which will rattle through here like you're the 1970s. Fourth, retail and hospitality. Businesses along Vinohradská and the upper part of Wenceslas Square are going to see more traffic. Easier access means more customers. And let's not forget it, this new line reduces the pressure between lines A and C, or on these lines. If even 10% of short-trip passengers switch to trams, well, that's already a significant reduction in crowding during rush hours. By the way, it's going to be more than just Vinohradská to Wenceslas Square, because the trams are also connecting to IP Pavlova, that direction, or through Sherwood, or as locals know it, or through Vrchlického sady, that way. So yeah, it's going to bring a lot of connections, but mainly the Wenceslas Square I think is very important. Unfortunately, I suspect that Vinohrady is going to see much more tourists, and we're not used to tourists in Vinohrady, are we? So here's where we are. In summer 2027, there should be a roll of the first tram in 47 years through Wenceslas Square. It will pass the statue of St. Wenceslas, stop at museum, and continue from down the square and connect to Vinohrady from the heart of Prague. It fixes a mistake that's been obvious for decades. It future-proofs central Prague's transport network, and it changes the game for anyone living, working, and investing in this part of the town. If you're buying or selling a property in central Prague and you want to understand what other changes are happening here in this area, don't hesitate to reach out. This is exactly the kind of information we keep track on. My name is Robin, I'm founder of Expats Finance, and since 2014 we've helped hundreds of expats to buy, sell and invest into real estate in the Czech Republic with clarity, transparency and confidence at every step. Thanks for watching. Check out also our another video and see you in the next one. Oh, and last thing, if you're watching this on social media, I would really appreciate if you check our YouTube channel and give us a subscribe.